Good morning, and I'm so glad that you are waking up with Bunny. I've got my coffee, can't find my water cup. That's okay. We are ready to peruse the news feed and find out what is going on in our neck of the woods this morning. Whew. I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful week so far. 45-year-old women should not be on the computer at this hour live. It's not our strong suit, but that's okay. Let's see what is going on. Before you fuck a girl, she'll test you by trying to lure you into girlfriend chatty chat. Be polite, but in the combo and steer it in the direction you prefer. A great way to do this is when girls are chatting about stuff that are not of interest to you, particularly early on, or they're trying to complain, particularly if they're trying to complain about an ex or a baby daddy or whatever. Don't you have a girlfriend to talk to about this? Things like that work. But even like what Fort Worth is saying here, just redirecting the conversation enough times will kind of start to train her about the things that she can and cannot discuss with you. Now, that being said, there are some incredibly self-unaware women out there who will not get the hint. But you know what? If they don't get the hint, it's okay to say, this is not an area that interests me. I don't know the people you're talking about. Let's talk about something that interests us both. Whatever you need to do. If you come up against a girl who, or in a conversation with a girl who just is not getting social cues, then it's okay to be what you would consider a little bit rude, what you would consider to be a little bit harsh, because she's not picking up on it. And therefore, she's not going to be deeply offended. We see it all the time. Let's see. News. Okay, having nothing. Well, I posted last night, and I would love to get your takes. Anyone at any time during the live show or after the fact in the comment section, either in the chat box or in the comment section. I posted last night. I want some new accounts to follow. If you have anyone that you would like to share, I would love to hear it. So if you've got favorite accounts that you'd like, that you think that I would like from Twitter, please put it in the chat box. Please put it in the comments down below. DM me, whatever it takes. I want to know who you think I would enjoy following, and maybe a little bit of information about them, like why you think that I would enjoy their account. But mainly, I want to know who your favorite accounts are, because then, I can follow them too. Give a little bit of love. So if you have anyone worth sharing, please do so. I don't need my notifications. That's not of interest. Let's see. Oh, that's so funny. That picture never ceases to crack me up. They're delicious. That's how. Is this rhetorical, or are you looking for recipes? That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. That's really good. I like that. I like venison. I'm a good German girl. We like our venison. This is good. Listen, guys. Men are the real romantics. This is not new information. Everyone says it. All the top dogs say it. This is not something that I am saying from a girly perspective, but I am going to explain it to you in case you have not heard it before or do not believe it. Men are the real romantics because you have such a short memory, in a good way, for the way women really behave. So you've either got anger, rage, destruction, leadership, like taking over the world, winning, or you've got you being the true romantic, the true gentle giant in a lot of ways. Because men are the real romantics. You guys hope for the Disney fairy tale probably more than anyone, which is why you get distracted. You get, as soon as you get into a dating relationship, you forget all game. This is why you truly are the Disney prince in your own brains. And that's where you get blindsided and most deeply affected by girls and their natural behavior. So make no mistake, I love this. Men have two moods. But make no mistake, all of you have this warrior side and this romantic side. Quintus Curtis always has good stuff. Oh my gosh, I always love these videos. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, make it stop. This gets vomited right on. What did we just witness? I'll say it. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Pranks are for boys. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is more real life to me than anything that we're seeing right now, because where we live in the cultural district, it used to be a cultural district. It's still considered that, but it's actually like a bar district now. It's very much an entertainment hot spot in the city. And we see guys doing these, I just can't stop watching, these circles, whatever, donuts, and people will be like crowded around them as if this car could not at any time completely take them out. It's the strangest thing you've ever witnessed. It's the strangest thing I've ever witnessed. It is so bizarre. And this is just one more reason why women live longer than men. Oh, this girl. Everybody was sharing this girl last night. We need to
500 grand, okay? We need a mother rock on this finger. A rock, you hear that? I don't care if you're broke as take your mama's life savings, take your life savings, take your grandma's life savings, and get me a rock.
There is no price limit, whatever I pick out.
What's the lowest amount of money a man should spend on a wedding ring for you guys?
500 grand, okay? We need a mother rock on this finger. A rock, you hear that? I don't care if you're broke as take your mama's life savings, take your life savings, take your grandma's life savings, and get me a rock.
There is no price limit. Whatever I pick out.
What's the lowest amount of money a man should spend on a wedding ring for you guys?
Woo.
500 grand, okay? When your mother.
First of all, I'm a loud talker, but why is she screaming? Why is she so angry about this? My gosh. Okay, let's talk about that girl, because she came up last night, it seems like. Girls, number one, have absolutely no concept of money. Even boss babes, like super like hard-hitting, you know, corporate girls do not have a concept of money. So just like you'll see the street interviews like similar to this, but are asking like, how much should a man make, you know, who you're dating, or what's the minimum a man that you would date or marry earn? And she's like, no less than $1 million. Like, she has no concept of the number that she's saying. She has no concept of what $1 million looks like, or what that lifestyle looks like, or how much or how little it takes to actually make her feel like she's living in the way that she thinks that she is entitled. So the fact that this woman just randomly throws out $500,000 is what she thinks she needs to have on her finger. Let's talk about this for a second, because this is such an interesting little detail to me, because I was raised in the jewelry industry. My father was a jewelry executive. My family has had a jewelry manufacturing business. This is a whole different $500,000. She thinks she's Beyonce or something. So let's just talk about what that would look like. Because there are some stunning rings and I'm going to Tiffany's. I'm going to Tiffany's website. We could go to Harry Winston. We could go to, I'm going blank right now, but there are so many different, of course, my internet connection is going to be slow. Of course it is. We could go to so many of the highest echelon sites and look for this. But I want you to see what a $500,000 ring might look like, okay? Because this girl has zero concept. Maybe I should take her to this site so that she would have an idea of what we were talking about right now. I mean, more power to her, but at the same time, loud, obnoxious women slutting it up on the streets don't usually get this level of engagement ring. So I think she's already off to a poor start. Let's filter highest to lowest. That's not what I wanted. Girls have no concept of money. I mean, Fort Worth likes to tease that, you know, what do girls need money for? You know, we don't have any concept of it. We don't know what it'll buy. We don't know what it's used for. You know, even myself, and I have a pretty decent idea of, you know, oftentimes I've been the person who paid the bills in the family, things of that nature. I've done a lot with money, and yet one night in particular, Fort Worth and I went out and we got a couple of drinks and we got like a couple of rolls of sushi. And for whatever reason, after the fact, he paid the bill. I thought nothing, no one thought anything of it. We were out with, actually with his sister. And I thought nothing of it. And I was absolutely blown away by how much he had spent on that. Just a few hours out at a sushi bar. Like, I was shocked. And I have a concept of money as well as most women. So it was just so funny to me. I just did the same thing, expecting different results. I'm just going to breathe for a second. It's so funny to me that these girls that truly have no idea. No idea. We're going to go with diamonds. Clearly, what I should not be doing on a live show is browsing the internet, because this is not working as well as I want it to. Come on, Tiffany's. Work with me here, people. Okay. The point is, geez. The point is, girls have no concept of money. So if she's saying that she has to have a $500,000 ring, she's like on crack. She has no idea what she's talking about. She doesn't know that, first of all, that ring would be obnoxious, which I don't think this girl has a problem with something obnoxious, but it would actually be like probably uncomfortable for her to wear. There are so many things about this that she's not drawing the kind of attention that a $500,000, a $500,000 wedding ring would deserve. I mean, let's hope something runs over her. Seriously, like while she's on the interview in the street. I'm with you on that one, Tim. Everyone has said a lot of interesting things about that. There's no price limit, whatever the fuck I pick out. My goodness. All right. Let's see. What's next? Let's cleanse our palate. Let's just cleanse it. There we go. Okay. Now we're getting rid of the obnoxious. Whew. I feel so much better now. That's what everyone wants to wake up to in the mornings. There you go. I'd live there, preferably if it were a snowy place, but this doesn't look particularly snowy. That just looks cool. That looks like a rendering. That does not look real. All right. Let's go with this because I love this guy. He always puts out solid stuff. We're 18 minutes in. It's been kind of a shit show up to this point. Not every day can be a gold medal winning performance, guys. Today's one of those days. Adam Lane Smith, who I think the world of his advice. So let's see what he's saying. Ever wondered why men tend to fall asleep after sex while women want to cuddle? It's about the hamburger effect. Understanding this can lead you from being a fleeting pleasure to the love of his life. Oh. Understanding it would be much easier if you explained it instead of just throwing a bone to a dog. Thanks. Work with us, Adam. He's usually pretty good about that. I'm sure this applies to some email he sent or that didn't help me any at all. Just went out wearing my 1920s clothing and heard a girl ask her mom if I was a ghost, to which her mom replied, "No, I think that's just a lesbian." Well, I think, the butch haircut, the nose ring, the lack of makeup, the horrible taste in clothing. Here's what's weird. Lesbian women tend to have terrible taste in clothing, yet homosexual men tend to have amazing sense in clothing. Where is the disconnect? Where is the disconnect? Man, that's pretty funny. That's enough internet for today. A dildo like shaped like Homer Simpson. Oh my gosh. That would be disturbing to use. Dildo. 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 I can't make his sound. Oh my God. That doesn't even look comfortable. Here we go. Doesn't it just look like that would be snowy and crisp and cold, and I can have my cup of cozy mug and just snuggle by a fireplace? Yes, please. Let's do that. Let's do that. I love that. Oh, I want to be in the snow so bad. All shortcuts. This is good. Ed Lattimore never disappoints. All shortcuts force you to pay a toll to use the road, and often the cost exceeds the value. All shortcuts in life. So let's say, for example, from our neck of the woods, from the dating, relationship, attraction, pickup game, sex sphere, if you try to figure it out, if you're not a natural at game and you try to figure it out when there are experts everywhere that are willing to help you and to help flatten the curve, so to speak, shorten the path, take you from point A to point B more quickly, and yet you don't utilize them, you're going to end up spending a lot of time, a lot of money, especially in dating and relationships and pickup and game. You're going to spend so much money and effort figuring it out on your own. And here's the problem, guys. Not everybody needs to learn every lesson the hard way. Sometimes you can take the steps, learn what you need to learn, and arrive at your destination more effectively and efficiently. You do not have to not utilize the professionals in your field. If you want to learn attraction, game, seduction, pickup, how to make better relationships, how to fuck better, there are ways to do that where you actually learn the steps instead of trying to shortcut your way through it and figure it out yourself, thinking that you know yourself. I know myself. I know what I need. Well, then you fail and you stumble and you get off the path and you aren't focused and you don't learn the way you think you're going to. If you want to run a challenge, or if you are new to game, if you're having a challenge with a particular woman, if you are having a general challenge where you keep kind of running into the same problems with women over and over again, reach out to Fort Worth and I. We have each on our website, fortworthplayboy.com, myplayboysbunny.com. We each have tabs on our website specifically to consults with you, because the best way to get past a problem is to get a professional in there, knock it out, have a plan in place, and then you have a solution, and it's a 1-2 punch. You don't have to learn everything the hard way. It's not a shortcut. It's learning. It's a win-win. Just like if you were in business, you might hire a business coach. Just like if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur or even have a side hustle. Maybe you're not great at bookkeeping, so you hire a bookkeeper. Maybe you need an assistant, so you hire an assistant. This is not an unusual concept, and yet, particularly in dating and relationships, people who have had no luck whatsoever assume that they know best and just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Quit doing that. Supersede all of that. Get effective, efficient results and move on with your dating and relationships. Then you learn the lessons and you don't have to learn everything the hard way. Let's see here. Okay, I think that Fort Worth and I are actually going to talk about this on the Morning Hustle on Thursday as well, because this is rough. I mean, we want to talk about how many men think that you have to be handsome, that you have to be, tall, jacked, and tan, that 6'6", like 6 foot, 6-figure incomes, 6-inch dick, whatever it is, that you have to be the absolute highest level, like model good looks guy in order to attract the most beautiful women in the world. Natalie Portman is a beautiful woman. This is not the most flattering picture of her, but everyone knows what she looks like, and everyone knows that she is a stunning, beautiful woman. And yet she's with this guy who looks like, not like what you think she would attract, not like what you think she would be married to, and there are a lot of examples of beautiful women, model-esque women who earn their living based on their looks. So they are verifiable, like 8s, 9s, 10s. And yet when you meet their husbands or you see who they date, you're always shocked that they're not better looking. So we want to do a whole conversation with examples of when this is true. I always hate to see anyone going through a breakup, especially if it's going to have to be a very public one. That's got to suck, but that brings a whole other level to the dating, relationship, attraction game that you guys need to understand. Because if you're here, you may not have model good looks, and that's okay. You've got game, and that overcomes a lot. Let's see. So with that in mind, be sure and tune in on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for the Morning Hustle with Fort Worth and I. Sometimes your old life has to fall apart before your new life can fall together. So don't hesitate to leave the past in the past. That's very touchy-feely for this morning, but you know what? It's a great place to close. We don't have to, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. You don't have to learn everything the hard way. You don't have to continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. But so many of us do. We maybe don't take the time to evaluate what fucked up, whether it's a relationship or a business deal or some, kind of venture or hobby. You've got to backtrack. You've got to make note of the steps that you took to get there and see where things really went off the hinges, not where you think they did. Because oftentimes, for example, in relationship, you think it went off the hinges whenever your wife cheated with your best friend. But really, if everybody was solid, if everybody was in a great relationship, if everybody was secure and had their place, and there were no issues whatsoever, and the relationship was a happy one, and the marriage was a great one, and it was sex fueled and hot and secure and all the sexiest ways and everything that we talk about all the time, then no amount of attraction to your best friend would have caused her to stray. Period. There are things that happened maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 10 steps before that caused your wife to veer off the path. Not to mention the fact that this is also in my brain scenario, including your best friend. So, you know, bro rules aside, that is just a terrible thing. So keep in mind that what you see as the problem oftentimes, and what you see is where things kind of went off the rails, is often not where the actual problems started to arise. So you've got to know what happened in the past that really caused the problem before you can course correct, before you can get on board and learn from your mistakes and stop making the same mistakes over and over and over again. The joys of a live show. This morning was not the smoothest one on the books, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for valuing my content and my opinion on things as we roll through them. I'm having a lot of fun with this show, and I hope that you guys are too. I like jumping into the news feed. I like not knowing what I'm about to see and just kind of going through it off the cuff. Sometimes it gives us a lot to work with. Sometimes it makes me want to jump down a rabbit hole, successfully or not, like this morning. But whatever it is, that is the joy of live programming. And this is also why we keep this Wake Up with Bunny show to about a half an hour. So I hope that I'm not wasting your time. I hope you got something of value out of this morning, and I appreciate you tuning in. I will see you in 23 and a half hours. And if you aren't, jump on my email newsletter list, because it's a good place to be. So, I have my coffee. I want you to lift heavy things, be productive, and have sex. Those are the keys to a truly winning day. And in all things,